Guys, I'm filming this after the point, but it's going in at the very start. We are going to go 5 years into the future after finishing this off. Guys, I mean this. There's a lot to catch up on. Now, let's get back to old Dale. Wow. Hey guys, how you doing? FM Dale here, and welcome to the very last episode of We're All Wednesday, Ain't We? Today we have a very last game that we're ever going to play in this world. And as you can see over in the top right corner, we've had a pretty good season. I won't go through everything. I told you on the last episode, the last time, that we'll probably bring Kelly in. I don't think we'll... Alright, you want her. You want her, don't you? I know you want her, so let's do it really quickly. Kelly! Was Man U the last game? I'm not even sure. Whether... No, we got promoted in the last one, didn't we? Surely we did. Guys, needless to say, it's been really good. I could look right now and see where we finished. But anyway, I'm sure we got promoted somewhere in here. Fagaccia scoring loads of goals. We beat Sheffield United 2-0. 3-0 against Norwich. 3-1 Blackpool. 0-0 with them. 1-0 Fagaccia again. Look, guys, I just did that to get Kelly in. To be honest, we're just winning games. We're winning games. The end of the championship is today. The table, we're sitting top. We've got 112 points, guys. This is by far the best season that we have had, I've probably ever had on Football Manager. And sadly, it's the last one of the series. I mean, I'm gutted. I don't know if you guys are gutted. Get down there in the chat if you're gutted that this is the end of the season, end of the series. Here we go. We have one last game today, and it's against bottom of the league, Birmingham. So we do know what that means. It means that we're going to lose our second game of the season. We know how this game likes to work, that the game that we shouldn't have any chance of losing, we will lose. But even though it's the last game and it doesn't really matter what happens going forward for myself, I'm still going to play a couple of youngsters today. Why not? Guys, if you've liked the series so far, remember to like, subscribe, do all the beautiful stuff. And also, still trying to figure out what I'm going to do there on FM23. Comes out next week. So I've had an idea for a mystery box and then getting a random kit. What do you guys think of that? Let me know what you think of that on the whole. But yeah, we're going to see what happens. Sometimes when, I've tried to do one abroad before, it didn't really hit off with people. So let me know what you think, and let's get to this game. Let's not waste time. So here we are, last game at Hillsborough. It's against Birmingham, and we're going with this team. So Patter in goal. Bree is captain for our very last game. Of course he is. I mean, I want you to tell me your player of the series as well. If you've watched the whole series, who your player of the series is. James Bree's got to be up there. He is playing right back for us today. Soleil and Cuckoo in there. Elizondo, Neto, Tom Lowry coming in as well. Sibley, Gabriel, I'm giving him a go. Not played much this season. Brought him in a couple of years ago, I think, or last season. Just trying to bring young players in, but it hasn't mattered. Short Tyree's been great. Fagaccia, we know he's great. And on the bench, we've got a young lad called Gregory Williams. He's 16 and he will be getting his debut today. Here we go, boys. It's weird, you know. You get kind of attached to some of these players, and I don't want this to go, but kick off back with Soleil. 15 minutes into the game. As I say, we are playing bottom of the league, so we do know the implications of playing the team bottom of the league. And we are back in possession. This is what I want. We want to win this last game, to be honest with you. Of course we do. 115 points would be absolutely outrageous. But 112, which is what we expect with a loss to the team at the bottom. not to drag that in as if Football Manager makes sure you lose to this team. But we should never lose to bottom of the league. So we'll see. Especially at home. As Neto goes over the top to Fagaccia. Can he get his 35th? He can! It's 38th. 35th in the league, 38 overall. When we go, so how we're going to do this, guys, is we're going to go a year in advance and then we're going to 5 years in advance just to see what happens to the team afterwards. I'm very intrigued to see what happens to this boy. He'll go back to Liverpool, but will he get in their first team? Well, I really hope whoever manages Sheffield Wednesday after me brings him in full time, because he has been an absolute star for us. Corner, Lowry, itchy arm. It's in though. Ooh, it's not going to be good enough for Soleil. Pulls it back to Cuckoo, who's another guy. I'm really intrigued to see. Wow. I'm really intrigued to see where he goes, because he won't be at Sheffield Wednesday in 5 years. He might be there in a year in the Premier League season, but in 5 years, I just don't see it. There's a few other players who are interested to see what they do. If we could keep some of them, Cuckoo, Short Tire, look, we could stay up next year. I think this team is a lot stronger than the team that got relegated. There's a lot less players who have been brought in here to to sort of fix gaps. They've definitely been more long-term. Fagaccia coming at you. Here we go. 2-0. Fagaccia's 39th of the season. Wow. What? He's got to be up there with one of the best signings that we've had in the save. I mean, the save goes back so far that it's hard to remember some of those boys that we brought in to get us out of League One, and it was a year ago, believe it or not. But Fagaccia coming in this last season, he's been up there with possibly the best signings. I'd like to know your view on the best signings, but the amount of goals he scored this season, I mean, he's probably our top scorer over the whole thing. A short I should make it 3, but he's offside. Yeah, Fagaccia just this season, he's probably close to being the leading goal scorer for us over the whole of the save, which is absolutely mental just with how many he scored in this season alone. They've gone long as Bree covers it up. We might, guys, it has to be said, not suffer the bottom team syndrome and lose to them, because at 2-0, I wouldn't expect us to lose this one. As Shortire has it on the left-hand side, gets it in for a hat-trick. It is 40th of the season for Fagaccia. He's got a hat-trick after 35 minutes. And you know what? Fagaccia's coming at you, Birmingham. He is not stopping. Oh, I tell you what, Liverpool. Can Wednesday sign him? Should I sign him on loan for next season? Just to see him back, see what he'd do. Back again. We've had waited. The plan for the episode is mainly to talk about what's happened in the past. I just thought I'd throw this game on for funsies. It's 4. Shortire. It's 4. Wow, boys. We were not expected. You can go back to the start of this season. We're expected to be a mid-table side. We've absolutely smashed it this year. Championship level, we are outrageously good. We just never quite clicked in the Premier League. But this season we've beaten Manchester City, Man United as well. It's 2 teams who you wouldn't expect us to beat. We did it this season. Let's see what we could do next year without me. And that's the sad bit for everybody, as we're back again. And Stevens knocks it back to Dewhurst. This is a very disappointing performance, to be honest, by Birmingham as well. They'll be very upset with how they've played. Shortire into Fagaccia. Neto. This could be a really long episode if we keep scoring. We are keeping scoring. It's just the way it is, boys. 41 of the season for Fagaccia. 4 goals in the first half. He doesn't want to leave. There is no way Fagaccia wants to leave Sheffield Wednesday. Why would you? Why would you when you were scoring 41 goals in a season? What a beautiful finish as well. Round the goalkeeper. 5. Sorry. What? Losing count. Kick off for the second half, and I obviously told the boys that they did terrible in that foul. And I just said, carry on, really. Just do what you do. Do what you do. Why not? We're back anyway, straight away. And this would be the biggest comeback of all time, I think, if Birmingham brought this back. They're going to try. Dewhurst goes long, and it's cleared by Cuckoo into Neto. Neto back to Soleil. And again, like I said earlier, I'm really interested to see where it goes with Cuckoo 5 years in advance. Lovely work from Gabriel. Fagaccia, not a good pass there. Not a good pass. Letting the team down. Maybe not the best assist. King, but Jones is coming forward for them. Maybe this is an opportunity as Stevens goes on the right-hand wing as Amos has it inside to Jones. The boys are slowing down a little bit. They're not cut. Oh my gosh, what a goal that would have been from Gomez. It's not going to be a great goal, and it's going to be a clearance from us. Ivanov, and more importantly, Williams is making his debut right now for the team. That's right. The young 16-year-old is coming on just because. Why not, really? That's how I always play the last game of the season. Why not? Let's give him a debut, young lad. Let's see if it helps him out. Let's see where his career goes from there. He'll probably be released next season. You know how it is. When I'm not in charge, those little lads, they just leave. But Gabriel's trying to get Fagaccia in. He can't. I tell you what, I think Gabriel should have been a player that we played a little bit more of at the end of the season, if I'm honest. I think he's shown in this game. He's got ability. Maybe he just needed more game time. And you know what? Probably should have given it when we were looking like going up. Well, Tulloch's going to make it. He doesn't. Brilliant play. Zapata. I mean, he's another one. Young player, but he has done great this season. Yeah, so as I was saying, Gabriel probably should have got more game time. Over to no one. We saw that highlight in the first half. Over to no one as the keeper goes high and long. But only to Elizondo. This has been such an easy game and way too many highlights for it. Way too many highlights. We're just here like going, guys, seriously, let's just chill. What's the point? Fagaccia plays in Shortire. It's not going to be good enough. A pretty poor pass again from Fagaccia, and Dewhurst just picks it up and goes long to Rob Jones. Don't know if it's Rob, could be Ryan, could be Reese, but whatever it is, we'll find out now. It's Ryan Jones who scores a goal for Birmingham in their big comeback. There we go. The boys walking away as champions. Fagaccia with a 10. Soleil 8-2. 9-4 for Neto. Brought him off for Williams. And, oh, guys, What a season. There we go, top of the league, 115 points. Closest team were Crystal Palace, who were still 20 points behind us by the end of the season. And believe it or not, we were basically, one half 29, but 30 points from the playoffs. I mean, that's 10 wins from the playoffs. What a season. End of season review, here we go. The new arrivals. I mean, if Fagaccia's not a 10, we've got some serious issues going on, haven't we? The classic double jump. Here we go. Soleil, top of the list there with the average rating. A C+. A C+. Brought him in for 9 million. 3 goals, 21 appearances. 7.67. A C+. Outrageous. Fagaccia, A+, of course. 41 games, 6 as a sub, but 41 goals as well. I mean, what a player. 6 assists in there, 7.52. Neto, an A, which is decent. It's a patter of B. Hopefully, we'll see what happens with him going forward. Ivanov, B+. Only a C for Shortire. Maybe they're saying that's because of the price. I mean, I can only guess it's the price, because 7 goals in 18 games, 3 assists. I mean, come on. Come on. Chumak, an A+, even though he played 11 games for us. Look, I never quite understand the new arrivals, if I'm honest with you. Season results, C. We are top. We finished. We smashed it. Board expectation, reach playoff minimum. I'm not even sure that's what it was at the start of the season. I don't understand why it says stuff like that and it changes. Average attendance, 27,000. Only 69%. Calm yourselves. And Fagaccia, 38 league goals. And A+. The board are happy that we won the league. Of course they are. Look at that. Only the one defeat to Bournemouth, which was a 3-2. And then just dreams. Dreams. 35 wins, 10 draws, 80+ goal difference. We had the best season I think we ever could. In the FA Cup here, we had to reach the 4th round minimum. We didn't. We smashed it. We got past that. Quarterfinals to Brentford. In the Carabao, we were knocked out in the 3rd round. Okay. That was the reach that minimum. We did that. Moments to remember, of course. A 5-0 against Millwall. Fagaccia getting 2. Cavallo, Birch and Ivanov. Match to remember there. That was, the biggest win was the 5-0 match to remember, was the Cuckoo, Fagaccia and Ennis. 3-1 over Hull. And over here, we've got goal of the season, which was from Sibley. Finances are like this. We've gone up in our how we are known as a 3.5 star rated team. Our reputation's gone up. No new sponsors, no new that. Competition down, broadcast down, but that'll go back up because we're back in the Premier League. Shortire selling the most amount of shirts. Cavallo, Broja, and Birch there as well. 13,000 shirts sold, but an average attendance of 26. We need to up the game, guys. We need to up the game. How we lined up mostly this season. Fagaccia, Sibley, Cavallo, Birch, Ivanov, which I didn't think he played the most amount of games, to be honest with you, in that position, but we'll give it to him. Neto, Brie, of course, Cuckoo, Vasquez, who moved on, if we remember, and Elizondo, with Hazard in goal, who, if we don't remember, with your all jippity-jappity about Hazard, he did move to Barcelona. The accolades at the end of the season go like this. Manager of the month multiple times. Fagaccia was the top goal scorer on 41. Sibley assists on 12. Man of the match is Alexis. Alexis again, average rating. Soleil did well with that. Fans player of the season, it is Fagaccia. Young player of the season, he's coming at you again. It's him. Signing of the season, Soleil right there. Brilliant player. Brilliant player. So happy about it. Hold on, let's just see what happened to Marin. Can we do that right now? I'm going to give you an extra early bit. Remember how good this boy was meant to be. What's he gone and done? 4 goals in 16 at 6.86. This is a man who is not reaching his potential. We're up, guys. We're up, and that is the important part of this season. So the overall best 11, we'll look at it now. This is from the whole episode, the whole series. We know now this is the whole series. These are the best players that we had in our team. Let's revert. Let's see what we had. And in goal it is Connor Hazard. Let's have a quick look at where he is now. We know he's at Barcelona. Unbelievably to many of you, he's not played in La Liga. But he did come on in the Cup. So he's played a game for Barcelona. He went for £13.5 million. He did very, very well for us. We signed him for 825,000. And when you look at his career with us, there was quite a lot of games in there. Yes, that season in the Premier League, he conceded more goals than I think you physically could. But 7 rating still. He was very, very good for us. Brie, of course, at right back. Why wouldn't it be Brie? When we look at Brie's career with us here, it's been absolutely beautiful. Came to us in 22-23 League One. The second season for us on the game, I think that is. And he came in and those assists, 13 assists in that season. Of course, he stayed in position for the next year, 7 assists. The saddest thing for him is the lack of goals that he scored. But he got one this season, that's fine. 7-6, 7-4, 7-3, 7-2, 7-5. Every time he was out of the Premier League, he was an incredible signing for us. What a player, what a man. Possibly my favourite player of the series is James Bree. The other centre-backs here, we've got Clark Salter, who moved on to Blackburn in the final season, who did well for us in those seasons. He was with us, club captain for a while again. Another guy who couldn't cut it in the Premier League. And Dunkley, who's now unemployed. But once we let him go, he retired. Why would you want to carry on after you left? Sibley and Lowry, we know what's happened with them. Josh Windass, he was with us, obviously not for that long, really. Well, he was quite long. He just didn't play, I didn't feel like. But he obviously did. Yeah, he played with us for a few seasons in here. With the season we started here, played next season as well. 8 goals, did okay. He moved to Australia for 3 years and then retired a couple of years ago himself. He's now a loan manager. Not the greatest career for Joshy Windass. Carvalho obviously moving on at the end of the season. Castillo was on loan away this season as well. Brozier was in. Gibson, what happened to Gibson? He must still be playing, right? He's at Burnley. That's a decent move for him. Couldn't remember it. We had him on loan all the time. Couldn't get him full time. He went to Burnley in that season. He's done very, very well in the Championship. Again, a player who's not quite clicked in the Premier League. For the subs, Cameron Dawson. He left us. He's at Bradford. He's had a very... I looked at him very recently. Apart from this season, look at... he's barely played. Vazquez, we knew, made the move. Liam Palmer, when we signed him back as a coach here, went to Hearts for free, played 1 season, retired. Just couldn't live on to it. Ryan Longman, he's on the bench. He's a player who I never really kicked off for us in here. Went to Birmingham for 2 seasons. He's still playing right now, so we'll see. Hopefully in the future what happens with him as well. Ivan Aguirre, we know he left at the start of the season this year due to that release clause when we went down. He didn't sign his contract, when he went down. He's not kicked on there either. So, interesting players who I expected more from. Sorensen and Patterson. We'll have a look at Patterson because he's at Wednesday in real life. And he went to Motherwell. And he's absolutely, to be fair to you, playing games, doing what he does. Fair play to him overall. It's good to see what's happened to some of these boys. But I think we've got the best team that we've had on the whole thing right now. So this is how we finished with the club. They're delighted with our leadership. It's an A- where we came from. It's a bit surprised that we are here, to be honest with you. But that's not the point. This is the moment, boys. I don't know whether to resign. Or it says retire, sorry. I don't know whether to resign or see what fictional me, what they do. Maybe I get fired. Let's do fictional me. Let's do fictional me. Let's go a year into the future. Hey guys, real quick, I just realised that I'll probably have to resign because if I don't resign, then they might not sign players. So just wanted you to know that while I go and resign. So we're going to go through this together. I know we've still got the bracket. I know you can see, everything else. But don't worry about that. This is the moment. This is the moment. I don't want to do it. We're doing it though. Oh, that didn't feel right. So we are back, and that must have been really quick for you. It felt like forever for me, but that's not the point. Thing we need to know is 5th of May. Now, we are at the 27th of May right now, but in the 5th of May, Sheffield Wednesday hired a new manager. It was Calero. He came in. What does that mean for the team? How did they do a year on? Did they miss me? No, they didn't miss me at all. If anything, they did a lot better without me. Sheffield Wednesday finished 14th. Oh, days. That is, let's say it's all down to me. We'll have a look at the team in a minute. The teams who got relegated were Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest and Watford there. But you'll see Sheffield Wednesday in 14th. That's a very good return. 10 wins. 10 wins. 11 draws. I'm not sure why the manager got sacked. Let's find out who was the manager straight after me. Wow, it was a big change after me. As you could see, I was there, but I should have just kept going for just that little bit longer to get the 8 years, shouldn't I? Just after me, it was Ralph Hasenhüttl who came into the team, 26th. He left after 249 days. I'm not fully sure why. He just left manager role. So let's see where he went to. West Ham. Well, I mean, that is a little bit of a, I would say a step up, although he got you go below Wednesday that season. So maybe not the best decision from him. Then Ian Lockett took over as a caretaker for 34 days before Julian took over there. Calero, very good manager, really. Sheffield Wednesday have done incredibly well to bring him in on that pro deal. Anyway, let's look at the team. Let's see what's been occurring. Where's my name? Where's my name? Am I over here? Am I behind my head? Who knows? Who knows, guys? At this point, it's not important. Let's look at the players. Here we go. Looking at that team as well. Right, so let's just take a step back and look at the team as a whole here, just for a second. And we will look at transfers, but majoritively, let's look at the team. Now, my player, Cuckoo. My player, Soleil. They've put Bazunu in goal. Still my player. Let's not have a moment about that. Sibley and Neto, both my players. Jose Palafox. Let me tell you something about Jose. You won't believe this, guys. I'd signed him. I wanted to see what he did. I signed this boy. So he's still my player. I just knew he was coming to Wednesday after the season finished. 7. So again, my player. So that's Harvey Vale, my player. Shola Shortire, my player. The only one we haven't got there is Marcelo Hurtado, 22 years old, £41.5 million. I did not sign this boy. I'm not going to lie about it. I definitely looked at him back here, but I did not sign him. I would never sign someone for 41.5. I'm not a crazy madman. But he did well with that decision. Good goals. And you know what? Fair play to the team. If we look at the transfer history here, based on last season, they've brought in a guy called Dan Ormsby on a free, a 21-year-old, obviously signed for the youth team there, no games at all. Then they've brought in Gian Gregorio, 21-year-old, Alessandro Gian Gregorio, English lad, just in case you're wondering. 2 games, hello. 2 games there. Fine, nothing special. Hurtado, we've just seen a very good signing. Iheanacho has been brought in as a veteran striker. 27 games he played, 26 as a starter, 7 goals. Not a great return on that £3.1 million, but you can see why they need a striker in that point. Jacob Greaves been brought in, a young, 29-year-old now, because the world goes a lot further than it does in my real head right now. 35 games to 7, very decent signing as well in the centre-back. Now this guy, who's this boy? Kelvin, 29, right back, brought in, played 17 games this season, 6'8'9". Again, nothing crazy. Nothing that I couldn't have bought myself. And last, Josh Maja, who we all know from back here at Sunderland days, really, 3.1, 12 games, 1 goal. So what I would say is it proves that the team that I had was very, very strong, the right kind of team for the league that we're about to go into. When I said what we were aiming for, that kind of just hits the mark, really. I think we were in a point, we were going in the right direction. We just didn't have enough time. The players who left, Papa Matasar, a guy I knew was leaving. It was part of me who let him go for 5.25 mil. He's done very well at PSG, to be fair to him. Carvalho went to Trabzonspor for free. We knew that as well. That happened during my tenure, 6.82. He'll be a little bit disappointed in that. Larry off to America. We'll just see how he's done quickly, because by the time we come back in 5 years, he'll have retired. A 7. In fact, he's had 2 seasons in the time that we've been gone, and a 7-1-2 and a 7. You'd love to see it. You love to see it. Gabriel went on loan to Crewe as an affiliate with us. A good 37, decent. He's hopefully in 5 years, he's the player that we'll look at. Andy Combs on loan to Norwich as well. And a decent performance from him in League One. We gave him performances in our league. We'll see what he does. Elizondo moved on. That will make some of you happy. He did go. They got good money for him as well. £14.75 million. He's not really hit it off there. He's been given the number 9 shirt, which should tell you that they're not playing him at left back like I was. The number 9 shirt playing left back. I don't think that's probably what they did. But he's moved on and not hit it off there. Let's be honest. And the last one we'll look at. We'll have a look at Hennessy. He's on 27. Bradley Fink went to Grasshoppers, 18 goals in 27 games. Now, this boy, he's been absolutely harshly done by me. He just, he did incredibly well that season. 14 in 35, like a 1 in 2 basically. He's over 1 in 2 back in Switzerland. He's 5 years, we'll see how he does. 5 years, we will see how he does. Ethan Ennis, the last one. He went to Dallas for a free. And yeah, did absolutely nothing. Sad times for Ethan. But you know what? Overall, a year down the line for Sheffield Wednesday, they've got to be pleased with that. They've got to be pleased with that. Because really, it was probably unexpected. It's probably unexpected for them to stay up. They've done well. Overview-wise, yeah, very well. God, boys, what do we make of that? Do I take that on my shoulders and say, well done to the lads? We'll go 5 years in advance. We'll go 5 years in advance, and then we'll do like a big recap on things. Yeah. Oh, I'm pleased. Maybe we'll be in the Champions League after all. Oh my gosh! Did that take a long time? Not only did it take a long time, guys. Those people who do like 250 odd years into the future, that I just play this on a laptop, they must be playing on something outrageous to be able to do that. It's literally gone dark. I've had to put my ring light on so that everything looks a bit better for you guys. But it doesn't matter. We are in 2035, 5 years into the future, as we said, so we could get a nice little barometer of what happened to Sheffield Wednesday after the major manager, Dale Edwards, was there. So this is the moment to find out what happened. I can tell you now. I can see on the little things, you know, as it skims through what's happened. There's been some very interesting manager changes. But first of all, let's see where Sheffield Wednesday are right now. Bottom of the Premier League in 2035. Oh, it's not what you want to see. It's not what you want to see at all. Manchester United still winning the league. I mean, they must have won 1 million leagues by now. Should we, first of all, let's see. Well, should we see the trajectory of everybody? Let's go and see the past winners. Who's been winning the Premier League? Let's see. Man U up there. Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. So it's been mixed around. It's been mixed around. Sheffield Wednesday, as we can see, not in there at all. So let's see their future. So where we left Sheffield Wednesday was here when we finished first in the Championship. We went a year on and we all saw that we got to 14th. So that was great. We knew we were in the right direction. The season after was another 14th. So we stayed in the Premier League for 2 years. That's brilliant. But a relegation season was to come in 31-32. And then a promotion back via the playoffs, it seems, as they finished third, getting themselves back into the Premier League of 12th. And then this season, we'll see, as we've seen, they are getting relegated. So it's been topsy-turvy for Sheffield Wednesday. Never made the Champions League, and we'll all blame that on me. But who else can we blame it on? Who are the managers? We know that the main manager was me. That's the most important one. After me, we saw Ralph Hasenhüttl. We all know the main manager was me, so let's chill on that one. But what happened afterwards? We heard before that Hasenhüttl would take over, and then Calero took over, and he seemed to be doing really, really well. He got 1 year and 166 games out of it. We know he kept them in the Premier League, so he must have been all right, but he was sacked. He left, and then in came Eddie Howe. Now, Eddie Howe got relegated as Sheffield Wednesday manager, and he left the role on purpose. But after him, Herbie Kane comes in. Of all names, Herbie Kane comes in. Footballer, really. I mean, really, what's he doing managing at this level? But Eddie Howe. I mean, bringing in Eddie Howe shows that we moved on as a team. Nearly 3 years in the job, which is quite a long time, to be fair. Herbie Kane came in 164 days. Absolutely did nothing. Got sacked. Nuno Campos is in right now. But let's have a look at the squad as we see it. Did anybody survive from our team? This is a long way in the future. It is obviously 5 years, so the changes will have been sweeping around, but I can definitely see one of them, and that is Louis Sibley at 33 years of age. He will be leaving this season as well. Whether he's retiring or not, we don't know. But let's see. He has been there the whole time. When we let him go, and he's been playing basically the whole time as well. Very decent from Louis Sibley. It's always nice to see a boy still in the team from when we had them. I don't know why Jasper Powell's in a weird colour there. Why is Jasper Powell in a weird colour? I don't know. Someone can tell me that out there. But apart from that, it's an incredibly different team. There's no one there hanging around who we had. So let's go back in time and see how the transfers were. So this is the year we last checked. This is when we saw everything happen. So let's move on 1 year. And 1 year down the line, they're signing goalkeepers. Kepa is only £1.5 million. Yes, he's 40 at this point. But still, £1.5 million for him isn't too bad. He only lasted 2 seasons. Average. But after him, Seaflix, Stanislik, close. McLean came back. We had McLean on loan. So it's nice to see that he did come back to the team. £750,000. Sold him for 5.5. So they made a decent profit on him. He's actually turned into a decent player there in the Championship Premier League level. So well done to Jack McLean. And last two are Chiang and Kaminsky. Nothing to do with us. But let's see the players leaving, because I think this is where it did change. And I think it took 1 year, the managers came in and they listened to me and they listened to what I wanted from my players. The year after, they've made big decisions and they've gone. Harvey Vale's gone on a free to Sociedad. I mean, let's see the career. Back in England right now with Burnley. Went to Sociedad for free all the way back here, look. Then a £10 million move to Wolves and a part exchange now, but he's never really kicked on in his career, did he, Harvey Vale? A bit unfortunate for the boy. Then free transfer for Castillo going out there to America. Loads of loans here. McCoy's loaned, Murta loan. Brozier loaned to Empoli there as well. Maja, who they only signed the year before, then let go for 4.5 million. A loan for Gabriel Close and a few more loans here. Bradley Fink, another loan. Another loan, this time to Blackburn. But one of the players that I was super interested in at the best of times was Albano Cuckoo. I thought he was going to be an incredible player. For us, it wasn't going to be for us. But in the end, he's at Borussia Dortmund. So he is a good enough player. He was a good sign. 18.75 million, he went to Leipzig. Did okay there. I don't know why they've taken half the amount of money for him to go to Leverkusen, still in the Bundesliga, and couldn't get games there. 8.5 to Augsburg, did really well, and now playing, well, he played a few games last season there at Borussia Dortmund as well, obviously moving in the January. But I told you he was going to be a player, and he obviously was. He still is, to be honest. Cuckoo, he's only 26 years old. Still no caps internationally. I thought he would be an international player, but still nice to see. So we move on one more season. The players that they're bringing in now are not players that we've even thought of. Brian Cortez, Aski, Hasek, Amon. None of these guys are crazy. 16 million spent on Hasic. What did he ever do? That's an important one. He stayed here for a season, then got sold on for... See, look at this. 16.25 and then sold the next season for 11.25. These are the kind of deals that you would not see happen if I was still manager. I would not have terrible... I'd do terrible signings, let's be perfectly honest, but I wouldn't sell them for so much less. I mean, that's a good deal. But again, only one season lasting at the club, and that's really where you're starting to worry. Empoli took on Brozier, £5.5 million, 33, still playing at Empoli. He did really well for us. And then he went to Empoli, and he's not great. Not great. This world of Armando Brozier has changed incredibly to the real-life version. Then some young lads going on loan again to Crewe, Mark McCoy. Dawson, 27 years old now. Brescia, we brought him in here. £500,000. Thought it was a steal. We'd be able to make money on him. We did. We nearly doubled it. And then look at that. Went to Sheffield United, the traitor, before going to Brescia. I wonder if Italy's the place to be at the moment. No. He was meant to be the future, boys. I've gone down below. Close. Murta went on loan again. Grozjak. But Andy Combs. I gave him opportunities in the first team. I thought he was going to be a Sheffield Wednesday future player. £2.1 million. He went there and he's doing all right in the Championship. Good to see that he's making a proper career out of it as well. You know, always good to see good careers in the game for the young lads who come through the system. McLean went on loan actually the second season. Shortire. Now there's proper money made. He's actually gone to Chelsea in the end, but obviously, we signed him. He stayed with us for quite a long time. And to be fair to him, he was doing incredibly well in the Premier League. Look at these. He was one that we would have built our team around if we'd have gone further. And man, we should have. Brighton then take him on for £43 million. He does incredibly well there. He goes to Chelsea for £51 million and he's doing well there as well. What a signing Shola Shortire would have been and was in the way that the world was. 31 years of age. Still never played an international game, even with all of those stats with him. So that's a bit unlucky, I would say, for Shola. And a couple of more young lads on there now the next season. Do we see any more of the players that we had leave? Well, I'll tell you what we do see. A lot of signings coming in. Okay, so this year, loads must leave as well. I'm obviously more fussed about the ones leaving because they're the ones that came with us. But we'll just see a couple of the ones they brought in. Forshen came in. Young lad. Nothing in him at all. This one, Fortuna. Nothing in him at all. He's now at Forest. You see, this is the thing. A lot of these players they brought in, they've not done much with. Bruno Cesar, he does come in and he does stay. Big money's on him, but he's only 28. He's worth 4 to 12 mil. Bad business here. 22, but obviously had Rising. 22, sorry. And yeah, look, I mean, great first season in the Championship. But with the problem we had with Brozier, the problem we had with a lot of players, couldn't do it once they got to the Premier League. And it happened again. It happened again for the team. Quite a few players here, none of them that we brought in. So there are a few that we will definitely have to look up. But players leaving. Soleil did make a move in the end. He stayed with us for a long time, really. 4 years, which is fantastic, to be honest. I'm really pleased with him. And good to see that he's still playing now, even if it is at Stoke. But 35 years old. Well done to him. Good to see. You know, it's good to see. Stanisic, one of the ones they brought in. Calvin, another one they brought in. Kepa went for free. That's just such bad management. Richie Murta. Now, Richie Murta, 29 years old. We brought him in all the way back for 625,000. I thought, man, we're going to make some money on this boy. Even if he doesn't play, we'll make money on him. We didn't make money on him. He went for free. And he's done well. I mean, look, 11 goals, 12 goals, 11 goals, 11 goals. You're going to be happy with a man who's knocking in double-figure goals. You're just going to be happy with it. And why we never gave him the chance. Maybe it's the championship, and that's only the level that Richie could have made. But I feel we could have made some money on him. That's 100% what we should have done. Another boy that we could have made money on. I always wanted him to play. He's 32 years old now. Bradley Fink. What a man. To be honest with you, what a man. And when he's gone on loan here to Blackburn, 6 goals in 9. Championship player. He is 100% a championship player. Premier League came back, just couldn't hit it. 24 games. He only got 3 goals. Couldn't do it. As soon as he went back to the championship, 23 and 42, 24 and 35, 14 and 33. Bradley Fink. Well, as a championship player, absolutely fantastic. What a player. What a man. Bazunu, he did make a move. He went to Watford in the end and Wolves, it seems now. Did enough for us, but poor performances once again in the Premier League. But championship level good. Premier League every time, absolutely useless. As we go further down, Mark McCoist, one of the ones that we brought in, sent out on loan a hell of a lot of times. 57 we brought him in for. I mean, that's sold him for 37. I mean, he's playing in League One. It's got to be worth more than that. Outrageous. Askia, 4chan. Basically, everybody we signed in, we seem to let go. Now, that is an... Oh, my gosh. Guys, first things first, we'll go in order. Martin Neto. Unbelievable player. Did incredibly well for us. He will be going to Sociedad, it says there. Premier League player. Always in the 7s. I mean, Everton in the Championship is shocking. But he absolutely smashed it. Really good signing. But the one that I cannot get, boys, is down here. And it's Ricardo Zapata. This is not even believable. All right? He's 29 years old. 6 games internationally. We brought him in for 2.4 mil. And I was saying, guys, this guy's a steal. Right? He went to the Premier League. Didn't do incredibly well, right? Then he was sitting on the bench. Then he didn't do well. Then he did badly in the Championship. Oh, my God. What happened to him? £70,000 is all they could get for him. £70,000. I mean, that's an outrageous... I just don't unbelieve... That's no... He's at Palace now for 5.75 and struggling in the Premier League again. Ricardo Zapata. No way, man. Next season, we see a couple of players we might know. And in fact, Callum Hudson-Odoi comes in to the team, and he's now listed at 34 years old. So this is last season. 15 games. Doesn't do much, but at least he's a player we know, and he's bringing in somebody that we know. The rest of these, £16 million player in Gerrard here. Obviously, I can't see him. 29 defender, looking decent though. Again, no one's hitting over 7s. That's the thing. No one's hitting over 7s. Vitor Fernandez, 26 years old. He's getting close to a 7, but it was always going to be difficult for these boys. Any of the ones here that we brought in? No, they've all seemed to have gone at this point, which means that we're at this season right now that we've just finished. They've brought in these boys who we don't know, and nobody has made it to this point. No one made it 5 years on. Well, 6 years on, really, but 5 years on. That's... Hey, they were getting old. They were getting old. Boys, I've just had a look, because I thought, oh, I've not got anybody who's retired or got released at the end of the season, so, you know, let's see. And I forgot to do this for the time that we looked at the year on advantage, because I would have gone fuming and angry about some of these. So, Malik Thior, he was always going. Let's see, what career did he have afterwards? After he left us, it never really worked for him, Adders, let's be honest. Free to the Bundesliga, average player. But average player in Bundesliga and Bundesliga 2, you take that. But I can't believe they let Alvin East go. Bournemouth. Look, they've let him go for absolutely free. I would never have let Alvin East go. You know it. I know it. I was playing him. And he'd gone to Middlesbrough for free in the Championship. Became a very good Championship player. 2.6 million move to Barnsley. Decent. And an £8.5 million move to Bournemouth. And now he's played Premier League football. Wednesday, you've missed out on one. He was one of your own. One of your own, and you've let him go for absolutely free. Terrible. Another one who was coming through the youth system at the time was Johnny Jones. There was a big belief in him. He never kicked on. He went and played League Two football for the rest of his career, which, hey, it's still professional football, and you won't hold it against him, but it's not where we thought he'd be. The season after, we see a name right here, James Bree. He retired as a player at 34 years old. He went on to play for Cambridge after leaving us. What a man. Honestly, what a man. It's not fully saved on here, so I should have done that better. But what a man. He's just 184 appearances, 4 goals. Just long time. He went for 2 seasons to Cambridge, 85 appearances. Got a goal for them. James Bree. For me, you're the man. You're the man of the save. Anybody else released in this year? Let's have a look. Ormsby and Buchanan. Not really of interest to us. Kelechi Iheanacho signed after I left. The season after I left. Can't even click on him. That's how much of a difference he made in the world of football. And then, yeah, Madison, none of these boys who were let go for free meant anything to us. So, well, who do we want to check up on? Who do we want to see if they did any good? And I think, judging on the last season we had, you know where I'm going. Alexis Fagacha, he's coming at you. He's played international football, 9 caps, 6 goals for the international team. He's at Newcastle United here in 2035, 27 years old, 45 million to 136. And oh my days, guys, £275,000 a week. Let's see what happened to him after that season with Sheffield Wednesday. Let's never forget that season. 42 league games, 38 goals. He went back to Liverpool, and believe it or not, he actually got in the first team. A lot of sub appearances. 5 goals off the bench. Again, another 5 goals for the team. Mixture of games this time, then 3 games before moving to Rennes, or Rennes, as you might say. Doing incredibly well over in France. 6 goals in 10 games, then 10 in 31, and he started to whack them in the Premier League as well for Newcastle. So you know what, brilliant to see him doing that. Being such a player, such a strong unit for us. And what a man. Just what a man. What happened to all the others? I'll have a quick gander to see if I can find them. Well, maybe the best way to do this is to go through from the very, very start, and let's see some of those players. And one of them, the players that we have, Fabio Carvalho, we know he left us for Trabzonspor, and he stayed there the whole time, not really kicking on, but that's where he did go, and he did stay. These are the players that you may have forgotten at the time. You know, Jermaine Defoe we had, Ramirez all the way back at the start. Some incredible players there who never quite kicked on. Then, look, these are some of the boys that for me, this was the season, the second season. We brought some in. James Bree obviously came in here. Clark Salter came in as well, who stayed with us for quite a while. Now he's the under-23s assistant manager there. Went from Blackburn to Luton. And he had a really, really good career, which is great to see. Tommy Lowry, he's still playing at 37. Oh, yes. Come on, Tommy Lowry. 37, and he's still rocking in the 7s. What a man. Just what a man is Tom Lowry. Will we try and sign him in FM23? Oh, you know it, really. You know it. Xavi Simons, very unfortunate, really, that we never kicked on with him. Played a lot of years at Cardiff in the Championship before dropping down to League 2 there. But for him, you know, he's 32 now. So you kind of do expect that from the lad there. Who else is in here? Corbinu, Longman. I never felt love for those guys, and loads of loanies, so let's not worry about them either. Who cares about a loanee? We did bring Corbinu back, but not much happened this season of players that we brought. Remember Wildsmith going to Man United? Oh, guys, that was a time. That was a time when we really, who knew what was going to happen? Christopher Scott. Do you remember Christopher Scott? The one we were very upset about losing. Oh, I can't. Christopher Scott, boys. Do you remember Christopher Scott? Feels like a million years ago. Talking about feeling like a million years ago. Sieb! Oh, Sieb! Oh, it just feels like so long ago for some of these boys, doesn't it? He left us for Mainz, 7.5 million. Then Augsburg, and now he's just been playing on and on and on. What a player. Never really kicked on for us, but it was one of those that we all dreamed about. Brozier, we've already seen. Ben Knight. What happened to Ben Knight? Blackpool, so he must have had quite a good championship career there, bouncing around a little bit, but decent career for him. He left us at a weird point, to be honest, with the team. Owen Dale, you can click him, he's an assistant manager. I'll bring him in. Dale scores and we want some more. Yeah, you know it. You remember it. Interestingly, guys, his birthday, it seems, was only the other day. So if you want to get on his Twitter and send it from me, say, oh, FM Dale says, hope you had a really nice birthday. Didn't really kick on for us. League 2, League 1, League 2. He's better than that. He's better than that, boys. He's better than that. We know it. Connor Hazard, we know he went. Oh, he's still playing in Spain. This is 119 caps in the end for him. Barcelona he moved to. 5 games for them as well. So let's, again, all you haters of Connor Hazard, 5 games in La Liga for them. And he's done all right there as well in last season's La Liga as well. Nice to see Connor doing that for the team out there in front. Is that Gabriel? It's hard to see behind my head. It wasn't, and it was Vinicius. Does anybody remember us bringing in Vinicius? Right, we brought him in all the way back here. We got him on loan, and then we got him on loan, but there was something to do with transfer things, and I absolutely messed it up and had him for 6 months and had to pay his wages and couldn't sign him for some stupid reason. Anyway, he went on to play for Liverpool and now Barcelona. Bailey Ty Cadamartri, 30 years old. We tried our best to bring him into the squad. We couldn't. He went to Finn Harps, then to Swindon, and never kicked on in League One and went back to Ireland. Well, I really hope that Bailey Ty has a better real-life career than his career here. Ivan Aguirre made it to Borussia Dortmund, where he'll play with Cuckoo at the moment. We know he left for free. 15.75 million, but look at the stats. Never did it. Never did it. Wow, I thought he was going to be something else. Never did it. The glory season of Massimo, do you remember? 34 years old now. He had a couple of good seasons for us down here in the Championship. Then La Liga it was, Girona, and playing loads of games there, to be fair to him. So he's had a very good career. Massimo can be happy. I think a lot of the players, to be fair, can look back on their careers and say, you know what, we did probably the best with them that we could. You've seen some of these, Thior, Braithwaite, we don't really need to see. There's no one in this. There was a lot of loans this season, a lot of awful loans, it has to be said. My bad. It's all on me. But this is one that I was trying to look for. Our £8 million signing. We sold him on. He's back in England. He's back in England. He's got a 15 to 46 million pounds. What happened? 29 million went to Cologne. Never ever got past the 7. Never got goals. Just went to Barcelona. He went to Barcelona for 18.75. Did okay, nothing special, and then went to Hertha for 33, and now is just team hopping. That is unbelievable. Jordan Birch, where did he go? Watford, Brentford. Oh wow. Decent career for him as well. Very good career, let's be perfectly honest. He did incredibly well for himself. Esposito we had on loan. Cuckoo we've been through. Guys, I think that's probably everybody that came in or around that we were in or about for Catcher. Let's just finish with Ivanov. Why not? He went to Wolfsburg after his 1 season on loan with us. He was going to be a baller, an absolute baller. But guys, I don't know. I think we did as good as we could do. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not even it's not even a joke. Like, I think we did as good as we could do. 100%. A very good season. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing players go back and whatever. And we are still working on FM23. We are figuring that out. But guys, thank you so much for watching this series. Like, genuine. Like, above anything else. So I know I'm not one of the big FM people, and I know that, you know, it is what it is, but I'm so grateful for every single one you're watching. Like, it's so true, it's so weird. But anyway, let's get on to FM23. I hope you've had a great time, guys. And yeah, as I say, like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Just thank you. Toodle pip. And remember, we're all Wednesday, aren't we?